Alright, so this is what we're working with. These are the S&M Universal Fit chromoly, made in America. Okay? You can't go wrong with buying American-made stuff, guys. And every other freaking country is whipping our ass when it comes to industry and whatnot, money. We need to keep it in America. This is Bob, ball python. Keeps an eye on me while I'm working on my bikes. Make sure I'm not putting any bolts backwards, cross-threading anything. About 6 foot long ball python, but anyways. Alright, so I'm going to get these here. Universal Fit, S&M, chromoly, made in America, hub guards. Got them all the way around, front, back, driver's side, the whole nine. So we're going to do a little video on how these things go on the rim. If they're tricky or not, if they're easy, if they're worth the money I just spent on these things. Oh, and they even come with a little sticker. Alright, let's put these things on. Alright, so here's the bike we're putting them on. You guys are probably familiar with my bike. Got to get them things down in between there somehow. I don't know. I also bought a gyro for this bad dude. I got to get him on there. I'm going to do a separate video on that, though. We're just going to do hub guards on this one. Got this here driver's side. See if I can get that go in there. We got a little more room in the back, it looks like. Well, those things are going to look cool when they're on there. But anyway, if you're not familiar with my bike, I got a Haro Midway. It's just kind of a starter bike to start out with. I upgraded some stuff, put the lineage fork on it and some better rims, and gonna upgrade this thing and then eventually probably change the frame out. I think I'll go with like a full 100% chromoly frame. Right now the damn thing's a tank, but I ain't mad. The weight kind of helps level you out a little bit, you know, whenever you get a little haywire. Let you know where that bike's at. But anyway. Oh, and I'll show you guys those here in a little bit. I'm going to put, instead of my Solo cups that I got on there, my red Solo cup valve covers, I think I'm going to put some grenades on there, because every time I get on this bike, for some reason, goddamn explosions happen. Me landing on my ass. But anyway. Alright, so we'll get those things on there. Alright, so I got these bad dudes out of the package here so that we kind of see what we're twerking with here. See if I can get a zoom in. Okay, we got a zoom in. Alright, let's zoom out maybe one click. There we go. Okay. So these here are the fronts. Hollow on the center there. Alright, got the little S&M on there. They come with a bag with some spacers. So that way, there's 3 of them in there. That way, if this thing needs to back up off them spokes a little bit, you know, it's a little too tight against your hub, you can put these inside, not on the outside. You want to put them on the inside right here. That way that you can put these in there, for instance, and you would back this cup off of your spokes. So that way that it fills in a little bit of that and backs this up off your spokes. You don't want to tighten this down and this be, when you tighten this down, it smash against your spokes and cause negative. You know, you don't want that. You want it just to rest against them. If barely touching them. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to really touch them. Just, you want to be able to have enough room to get your tire back on, get your rim back on there, and still have this just resting up against your rim, just enough to where it's protecting but not sitting against them. So those would be your fronts. These two here are your fronts. Come with spacers. You get 4 stickers. Each one of those come with a little S&M sticker. Everybody loves the stickers, make it go faster and higher. And they also come with a bag of washers. Each one of them come with a bag of spacers. And this here is our back one. So this one is my driver's side. As you can tell, it's got the chain spot out of it and whatnot. Come with some spacers to space it out away from the hub and the spoke. And the other one, this one here is a little bit wider. Got a little bit, you know, something you can get on. Anyways. Alright, so I did a little unboxing for you, or some unwrapping. Well, let's get into installing these things onto the rim. Alright, so here is what we found out. Got our rim off. Got our rim off. Got your bolts and everything out of there and whatnot. So you just got your hub sitting there. Because what's going to happen is this is just going to go right down on top of that hub. Right like that. Okay. This is the front rim, of course. And as the way it looks, as you can see, if you can tell, I'm pretty sure you can, that guard is clearing the spokes. Not as close as I would have liked it to have been. I would have liked it maybe an 1/8 of an inch closer, but it is definitely going to do the job. And I will not have to use any of the spacers. Because like I say, now this is on my hub, which is a fit rim. You may not need, you may need to put a spacer or two, but if you needed to put a spacer, all you would do would be take a spacer and put a spacer there, and then put your guard down. So that's how, that's what you would do. And is what that would do would be back that up off of your spokes further if you'd want. But if you do that, you're going wider, so you're going to have to stretch your forks out. So if you don't need the spacer, like I don't, get rid of that. Okay. As you can see, it is clearing the spokes, so I won't need any spacers. And you don't have to bolt them on. There's no crazy installation. I mean, it's just take your bolts out, put this in between there, and put your bolts back in. I mean, if you need a spacer, you need a spacer. If you don't, you don't. So this is the fronts. I'm going to put these on. We'll see what it'll look like. Alright, so the front is done. That simple. Got us some nice guards on there, boy. Man, that looks nice. As you can see, we got it. They're a little further away than I want, but you know what? They're going to work. They're going to do their job. Boy, those are nice. And in case anybody's wondering, no, that's not spinning with the wheel. Man, that is sharp. And they were easy. All you had to do is take the bolts out, put the bolts back in. That simple. I mean, worst case scenario is your hub axle isn't as wide, and you're gonna have to put a couple of these little shims in right here. Simple little things. They just go in between, back behind, and you're done. Figured I was gonna tell you about the grenade valve stem covers. Pretty cool. Just gonna stick them on there. Gonna look cool, man. Gonna look cool. Alright, so on to the back. We'll see what that looks like when we're done.
So we kept inventing ways to make things ad-free. We even created ad blockers. That's when the ads had to adapt. They had to disguise themselves.
Alright, so the rear turned out to be a little different and a little trickier. I guess I made it probably a little more trickier than it should have been, but maybe, I don't know. To me it makes sense. But on this side, as you can see, we've just got that cup to the inside of that dropout. Now, again, the front side of that cup is smooth. It's not jagged like that nut I was talking about on the front. I don't know if I showed you that nut, but here, I'll show you. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, these washers are grooved. Okay, on one side, smooth on the other. All right. Well, the nuts on these rims that are inside, for instance, that nut right there, which we'll talk about in just a second, it's smooth on one side, which it goes smooth to the inside of the rim, and then it's rough to the outside so that it touches the dropout and kind of locks it in place. Okay, well, that hub guard there's smooth, so I'm kind of worried that might move on me a little bit, but it's got a little more surface space, so it might hold itself. But on the other side, I didn't think that was going to happen with the driver. Man, I got some big legs, man. I got some serious pushing power. I thought this fucker'd move. So I made it to where the cup is actually affixed to the wheel. And basically I just took that nut off and I put 3 spacers behind it so that the chain would clear. And as you can see, it cleared just enough. It's actually beautiful, man. Sucker turns good. Nice and easy. Ain't hearing nothing. Ain't hearing them cups grind on those spokes or nothing. Spinning real nice. Gonna protect real good. Got to do a little adjusting to that. I'm gonna move that to where that guard's a little more down. I'm gonna do that right now. I think I can do it with my fingers, maybe. Yeah. There. Ooh, a little too much. A little too much. Okay. There we go. So now I got that guard on there pretty good. I think that is cool as shit. Alright, so I'm gonna get this thing thrown together and we'll check it out as it's all put together. Alright, so we got her all back together. Got everything. And boy, does it look good. I like it. Don't look bad. Don't look bad.
Hello, New Orleans. How are you?
They look like they'll do the job. But anyway. Oh. Got that nice LaGuardia guarded sprocket. It's nice. So my chain's completely protected now. Well, at least for the most part. I don't know about completely, but alright, well, I hope this helps you. Thank you, YouTube. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Have a good day.